So guys, do you need higher education to be successful in today's world?
Yes.
I say no.
I'll say yes.
No.
You could say yes or no. I say yes just because I feel like you are open to like more opportunities if you have like a higher degree, at least like a bachelor's. Like in business, you can do a lot. You can go into a lot. You actually seem more serious to people who want to be in partnership with you. Like in science, you can do whatever. Like it's just opens like a world of opportunities for you if you have a degree.
I say from what she said right here. People who need school to be successful are people who can't lead. not can't lead, probably like too extreme, but people who are used to a certain system. Like, you know what, I'm gonna do this, then do this, and do that. Like at the end of the day, like not everyone is meant to be like a businessman. So it all depends on how God made you and what kind of motivation you have. You could find someone who's like used to the system and like, you know what, fuck this, all my friends are, you know, doing business, so you know what, I want to be a businessman. But they're not set up for that. God did not make them, or they don't have any hunger, any drive to be like, you know what.
I feel you, right? But personally, how I feel is like, I feel like there are people, I feel like the only way to actually really beat the system is to actually be in and know the system. The people that are billionaires in this world, as much as they tell you that, oh, they didn't go through tertiary education, at some point they had to hire people who knew the system, who already knew how this stuff works. If you're not in the system, how can you know how it works? So that's why we say that yes, it looks like it looks like a slave mentality thing. Oh, finish from school, enter in here, do this. But there are people who know that, okay, yes, I can enter this world of opportunities and still come out up top. So you feel me? But there are people who are okay with like, okay, I'm okay with this. My master is feeding me. He's paying me my salary. My life is okay. Cool. I'm okay with my degree. Yes. Like, you know, like that's just how we can kind of like paint it, right? Like that's what it is. But we can't deny the fact that education in itself, like, actually does open up a different world to you. You can, yes, people make it without education, yes, but those people, like, if you see the hard work and the amount of dedication they put in just to be in the same level where some other people just went to university and studied and got a degree, just to be in that level, like, it just basically tells you how, yes, the system looks like it's messed up, but it's a pretty good deal. You can still get in the system and still beat the system. That's what I believe.
I wouldn't say, you said that so someone who hasn't gone to school has to put in more work than who did go to school. I wouldn't really agree to that, because there's suffering on both sides. Getting a degree, you do suffer. You spend those nights where you're not sleeping because you have to study. So I wouldn't really say someone who didn't go to school is suffering more, has to put in more work than someone who did go to school.
Let me give you an example of what I meant. We're going to talk of like Ben Carson, right? Ben Carson himself, he didn't like, what's it called? He stopped school at one point and started like homeschooling, right? He started teaching himself and all that stuff. Ben Carson had to work so hard. Like, because I read his book and I heard his work ethic about him being constantly in the library, way more than even normal college students, right? Just to be able to get it. But even when he got to the point where he was in nurse, they didn't even put him in a position where what he knew. He was a surgeon, but they didn't give him the position of a surgeon just because of the fact of like, what's it called? He didn't have the paper. If he had that paper, I'm sure he would have even probably gone way higher than even being a surgeon.
But chill.
That's what I mean. Not saying that it's not possible. He still became a surgeon and still made it.
Yo, you know,
not saying it's not possible, but you know, he met people who did not hustle as him, who did not work as hard as him. He met them at like a level that
if he went to school, to a certain extent you'd be limited, because you'd be given a certain, like, you know what, you're gonna have to do this, study this, do A, B, and C, and that's the school system. So to him, school actually at the end of the day, for businessmen, it limits people to a certain extent.
I just wanted to say, like, Elias has a very good point in terms of like certain careers like surgeons, doctors, people in the science field, in the business field, in the engineering field. Those are practical things that you obviously need education for, even in the world of politics, etc. However, like when you go into other jobs like social working, entrepreneurship, visual arts, those things, technically they don't need you
to have a educational background. I've seen people with like 2 degrees, but they won't get the job that they want because the other person has X amount of experience in different areas. But that's more like in the visual arts, like I said, entrepreneurship, etc., where creative mindset is needed more than education. But it's definitely, I would have to agree in the sense that it is definitely a stepping stone. It does help you progress in life faster to a certain extent.
So I think that, like, since we know money is what makes the world go round, I think for you to be successful in today's world is to know how to make money, and that doesn't necessarily mean you need education for that. And as Dan was saying at the beginning, some people are born, it's like an inborn skill to make money, and when you have that education or no education, and I'm even going to say without education you can be successful. As I was saying, money is what makes the world go round, so if you know how to make money, you could be successful.
And don't get a fuck sorry, right?
Just to answer your
I
point.
have to say something real quick, sorry. I just feel like in that case, the person can be successful because they have experience. And in that case, experience meaning like they have to have tried and failed in that field at least twice or at least once. Because there is no such thing as sense in something that you have no knowledge of.
That's the message.
That's
very
no. Because you can be very, very like skilled, but you are still prone to error because you won't know everything.
But
but people in
how many surgeons make mistakes?
People in school, please, surgeons are different. They are operating based on it's a chance thing. The person can wake up or not. You literally, they have no control.
But that's what I'm saying. There's a mistake in everything.
This is business.
There's mistakes in everything. There's mistakes in everything. Don't say that. There's a mistake in everything.
I'm not sure that the mistakes that you will make when you have not, like, if you are talking about business, when you are starting out a business based on your own like natural like desire and your own like skills, your natural skills, you have not honed them. You've never been in that sector ever. You are going to make mistakes that if you were in school, you will not make it.
Would you not?
And that's the
Let me ask you something.
At the end of the day, experience will be your teacher.
No, I'm telling you, man. Can I talk?
That's the whole reason.
That's a very good point.
Can I say something?
That's a
Jemima.
good point too.
Like a surgeon, for example, right? The day he actually gets a license, start practicing, right? And 5 years in the future, like.
It's not the same.
It's not the same person, right? It's the same thing. For example, let's say I want to be a businessman, right? I'm gonna fail.
Okay, let me
can I continue? Let's say, as you said right now, like, how do you phrase it? How do you phrase it? Like, how can you
have knowledge on something if you haven't?
Exactly. Like, in business, for example, like I would love to believe you. There are people who are naturally born with the talent. I could sit right here and think about 10 different ways of how I can flip or cap and make like an extra $5. Like it's something you have, like.
Damn.
Chill.
How about the accounting side?
Can I finish? Yeah. As you said, right? How would I know about the accounting side? Here they will love it if you're not born with it, too bad. Some of us were born with a skill set of, you know what? I'm not good in accounting, you know what I'm gonna do? I have money, I'm gonna hire her, she's an accountant.
But you need that education at the end. You're hiring somebody that has the education to manage your money. Everybody. Personally, right, I agree with you on that point. Like, I believe that there are people who are naturally born with the gift to know how to make money. There is definitely no doubt. Because there are people who have come up from literally nothing with just business. And just having the brain of like selling, buying and doing that, yes. But bro, I feel like in today's world, you don't need education to make money, but to manage money, you definitely need education, which is what is very important in today's world.
I'm sorry, but like, the topic was not based on managing money.
Yo, if you don't manage your money, how are you successful?
Yo, you at the end of the day, no,
I'm sorry, no. If you can't manage your money,
chill.
If you can't manage your money, how are you successful? Because the most successful in this world know how to manage their money.
I'm kind of stuck in the middle with it. I think, in my opinion, I would always tell someone to at least try 1 year of university or at least secondary education, just to see if it works for you, because everyone learns different ways, everyone functions differently, right? So like I think it was Dan or Elias said, the system is set up a certain way. Like for me personally, I needed to go to university because that's how I function. I needed that order, I needed that structure. I can't just not go to university and go out in the world. I won't survive. But for example, my brother, if he wanted to go on his own, he could, because he functioned on that freelance kind of way. So I would always say do 1 year first to see if the system works for you. I don't think you have to be in the system to beat the system, because you can still understand it, because we all went through school. We still all understand what makes the world go around. Money, we have to find a way. Success is defined by yourself. If you want a big mansion and you want all this money, that's your definition of success. If you want, like, in the middle, something just comfortable, maybe not going to school is fine and gets you to that point, because one of my friends, her dad didn't go to school, but he runs a company now, right? And I think it also depends on what you want to do. If you want to work off of social media and all that, you don't need schooling for that. You'll still be successful. If you want to become a surgeon, if you want to become a teacher, engineer, you gotta go to school, right? Because there's those basic skills that you need to learn. So it depends on what you want to do, but I think try out the different ways first before you make a final decision.
Even like that social media thing, right? I think what Elias and Jemima was trying to say is that school can actually help you discover a few things that you didn't know on your own, which is absolutely true. But I also think that education can be attained in other forms. There's research now. Google's open to a lot of people. Scholarly articles are available. There's professors that you can talk to. Universities are open to the public. And off of what Dan said, not everybody is built for school. Not everybody can sit in a class and be like, okay, I need to listen to the prof and get knowledge from the prof and then do my schoolwork. That's not how some people operate. It all depends. You need to figure out what you want in life, what your career is based on, and then go from there. Research, ask questions.
Betty, I'm sorry. I kind of have a question for you, right? Like, what's it called? If you happen to be someone that's really successful right now, you really have money, like you've made it without education. Yeah, I know she got money.
Oh,
I know she's got money, man. She's rich. All of that stuff, you make all that money. I know definitely come to a point where like you've amassed so much money that even to you, as much as you like to think that you know, someone who didn't go through like education, right? Like that's my point. Talking about higher education, right? You don't have to go to school, but you can teach yourself. You are still getting higher education. So you get me? You now, you being successful and all of that, you want to hire people to run your accounting program. Are you going to hire people that don't have degrees? Even if they come to you and they tell you that, okay, I've had experience in doing this for a long while, they see somebody who pops up with a Harvard degree to you. That, oh, I finished from Harvard Business School.
Definitely the first up would be the person who has a higher level of education, yes. But that I also don't believe that he will do 100%, or he or she will do the best
of the work. Yes. That's a personal issue gone to him. But that's just what I mean. By you can have money, you can make money, right? But I'm telling you, to literally be successful, you need to know how to manage your money, bro.
No, of course.
And I'm telling you that you need, as long as I think that you don't need, education, but I'm telling you that you need lawyers in cases, because people who like, people like Donald Trump. What makes Donald Trump very smart? It's the fact that he has very strong lawyers. He has very strong lawyers. That's what backs him a lot. All this stuff here, there's all his money, how he moves around. They have people that already know the system. I feel like you actually need to be in the system. You need to be a lawyer. You need to know how everything works, because before you can tell a businessman that, the only loophole for you to get out of this tax evasion now is to do this.
I can give
because you would always get in that trouble.
Can I say something?
That's just how me. That's why I feel like education, even in sports world, people that don't have education, people in sports world, musicians, they all hire people they all hire investors, they all hire people that people that handle their money for them.
Can I say
something? Sorry.
Yeah.
You're not getting my point or her point. we're not saying education is bad.
Yeah.
Of course, we need education. You could find someone who's a doctor, you know, graduated doing his stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He has $1 million and he wants to invest in something, so he give it to an investor, like, yo, invest this money for me. And then it turns out that investor he gave the money to is a fraud, or not a fraud, like he's stealing money from people, lying to them that your money is in a certain thing, but at the end of the day, it's not there.
Yeah.
We're not saying education is bad.
Yeah.
All we're saying is not everyone is built for their life.
Yeah.
Like,
And not all jobs require it as well.
Yes.
And for example, right, I could fuck up, right? I could, you know, get my money without education, and I get like a lot of money, and I go and I fuck it up. I invest in the wrong thing. I fucked up. It's part of life. We all gonna fuck up. Excuse my language, but we're gonna mess up.
Yeah, we're gonna mess up. Yeah.
Like, you could be educated as hell. You'll get mistake. Like, you know, life happens. Like, look at what you call it, Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Cool. He wasn't what you call it. He dropped out of what you call it, uni. But he you know, he got fired out of the company he started himself. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's mistakes. It's gonna happen. Hate or love it.
I think when you talk about managing money, are you saying that you're going to other people who are educated, who have the certain levels of post-secondary education for advice? Like doctors, you go to them, accountants, you go to them. Are you saying that you need to seek counseling from people who have degrees? Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is this, like, let me break down. What I'm saying is this. Personally, me, what I feel is like, for you to be successful in this world, in today's world, it's not like back in the days where you can store money. In today's world, you need to know how to manage money.
Yo, can I talk?
And I feel like for you to be able to for you to know how to manage money in this world, both knowing how the laws work about money, about knowing how money was, about how saving money, I feel like the only place that teaches that is higher education.
Not really.
Yo, can I talk, please?
No.
Can I talk, please?
Okay, you can explain to me how you can manage money without education. Like a lot of really successful, like I'm talking about like small, what is it called? Yeah, you're making out 50K or you're 100K. I'm talking about like you want big money. So you
want to be successful, learn. You know when, like, you for example, you go to court, for example, you got a ticket, and then a guy comes to you like, yo, here's my business card, I'll help out people's tickets. That's how you become successful, by getting connection in every way you
Networking.
do.
It's all
Like,
networking.
but literally, like, wherever you meet, like, oh, take that and getting connection.
Okay.
To be honest,
Can I go
at the end of
point?
the at the end of the day, right? Like right now in our generation, right? You could even be educated, you could be as smart as hell. If you don't have connect, sometimes it's hard to get in. Mm-hmm. Even in music, like for example, like, yo, if you don't have the right connect, you know, all those popular artists we see on TV, if you don't have the right connect, sometimes it's hard to blow. Some people, they pay money to blow. Some people, they know someone who knows someone, and what you call it, they end up blowing and stuff. So at the end of the day, I think it's how many connect do you have? You know what I mean? Like, how many people do you know?
Relax, Chichu. Okay, so I'm not trying to disrespect you guys' conversation, but I feel like you guys' definition of success is different from mine.
Okay.
So you guys have been just like defining success in a way like you have to go to school to make money. That's the whole point of you guys' conversation that you're talking. But to me, what I call success is if I want to help someone out, right? And then eventually if I get that done, it's accomplished, right? Mm-hmm. That's success right there. Mm-hmm. And then if I be like, okay, I just want to go to, I want to be an accountant, and I go to school, but not just because you can go to school, not just because you want to make money. People go to school just to go try it out, you know? You don't have to go to school to make money.
Yeah.
So like, you guys, this conversation is you have to go to school to like be like this. You have to hire someone that's been in school to manage your money. What I call success is not money. If you wanna be rich and then you attain being rich, that's success. Like that's success right there. Okay. And if you wanna do something else and once you get it done, that's success. Success is not framed around going to school and making money.
The thing is,
I think it's finding something that you love and you want to do for
But right now, yo.
It doesn't have to be.
For your life, right now, he's living his truth. So you can't say.
I said no disrespect.
Okay,
I'm saying that my own
I said no
definition.
disrespect to anyone's.
The reason why what I'm saying will be different from what you are thinking about is because the way I'm thinking about success is different from what you're talking about. The sort I'm trying to talk about, so I'm talking about like really big money. We're talking about, okay, I won't say Bill Gates kind of success, but that money is too much. But yes, like.
So I think sometimes our definition of success either follows what society has told us this is success. For me, If I'm in a difficult class and I'm like, shit, this class is really hard, I just want to pass, my goal for that class, and I will feel successful if I simply get a 50. Because, not saying, just simply because my goal, my end goal, where I consider that I've succeeded, I didn't fail, was my thing. So, your idea that A is successful is because we've been wired, this is what success is, this is where you should be. If you're not here,
then you're
fucked. Let me finish. This is where we go back to education. Me, personally, I'm studying to be a teacher. The education system is fucked up. It's fucked up. It doesn't suit everyone. There's no way that everyone here will succeed in the education system. Personally, is my opinion.
I know.
But the thing is, but we've been ingrained that, the society that we've been ingrained that if you don't have a degree of some sort, it can be a bachelor's, it can be a diploma or whatever, a master's, you haven't been successful. That's not true. Why do you look at sometimes the poorest neighborhoods, especially if you go back to the poorest neighborhoods, they're still happy.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to let him know.
They might not be where you think success is, or they might not be where will be comfortable, but they're still within themselves. They have food on the table. They succeeded for the day.
I'm so confused.
But long term, because success is subjective. Me and you don't have the same level of success. Me, I don't need $1 million to be successful.
How can we compare success?
That's what I'm saying. Then you can't compare.
That's what we're trying to say.
You can't compare
You not say that this person is more successful
than
we can't compare.
Question. I feel like people have really been associating education and school only, and I guess that's normal because like you do go to school to get an education, or you can also get an education by obviously homeschooling, and there are a lot of people out there that are releasing articles on their work that is obviously wonderful information and teaches people and educates people. So definitely you may not need to go to school to be educated, because educated at the end of the day is just getting necessary information and skills really that will help you in your field of work. But you will not say that someone will dive head into a venture without educating themselves on that venture. Even doctors, before they perform new experiments, they have to read up past papers. Even people before they go into a business, they have to read up on that business. You need to be educated in order to actually run a successful business, live a successful life. That's just how I feel, because that education is just going to give you what you need in order to just start your life.
So are you saying higher education is based on receiving information, so you don't necessarily have to be in an institution to get it?
Yeah, because most people because most institutions are different. Some people have more hands-on learning experience because they're teaching them the theory, and then they also put them in the work sector. So you can say these people have higher education status because they have experience and they also have theory. But some people will only go to school and they are only focused on research and books. Yeah, theory, basically. When they go out, they might not seem as educated as those people, but it doesn't mean that they're not educated, and it doesn't mean that compared to an illiterate person, they will not obviously seem higher in social status. So I feel the whole problem with education and no one wants to accept is the fact that it just elevates your social status, and having a higher social status in today's society is really important in having a really good life. Because
connections.
Yes, and even on connections, I was going to say something. Thank you. Networking. I feel school does teach you how to network, because you literally throw yourself into an environment with people that you don't know.
That's not teaching you. That's not teaching you.
So you definitely have to develop a lot of interpersonal.
To be honest,
that is very true, and that's what school has taught us from beginning. Personally, for me, I think not really, because at the end of the day, it depends on what kind of career you're trying to chase. It's not about other people. It's just about what you think is good for you. At the end of the day, if you're trying to, let's say you're trying to become a musician, you're trying to become a basketballer, you don't really need education. And successful has different definitions to different people. My success could just be getting into the NBA. My success could just be, getting MVPs. My success could just be, it could be different, right? You could be something else, I could be something else.
So getting in the NBA, you need to go through school. That's what I have to say.
Well, getting to the NBA,
people have good grades.
Wait, listen.
year.
Wait, listen.
And-
Let's start. Wait, 1 second.
Let's start
Can I
there.
talk? Can I talk?
Not MB.
I've been here for 30 minutes. Can I talk? He says higher education. People like LeBron James didn't go to post-secondary and they go into the NBA and he's probably one of the best basketball playing right now. So at the end of the day, at the end of the day, it's not. Honestly, at the end of the day, it's what you think is going to benefit you and what you think is going to work for you. What's going to work for you might not work for me. There's so many people in colleges and still they're really good players. They're struggling in colleges and they're trying to get into the NBA, but they're not. There's people in just grade 6. I said grade 6. There's people in like grade 12. They already have chances and potentials of getting to the NBA even after graduation. So like at the end of the day, it's not really essential. It depends on what kind of career you're trying to chase. That's what I think personally, honestly.
You're smart. You're smart.
I believe no, you did not. And reason being is, as I said earlier, well, obviously I'm saying that defining success as having eventually a lot of money or probably running a business and being known, that's how I'm defining success here. And for that, you do not need education. If you do know how to make money and you know how to lead and you're creative, those are the tools versus education that will make you be successful. And for some people, eventually they might need education to be successful, but it's not a must.
Okay, down to me, it depends on what success is. To me, success is not just based on making money. Success is about setting up a goal and accomplishing it. So if you think you need to set up a goal, like go to school to become a lawyer or like to become whatever, and then you get to that point where you accomplish the goal, that's success. But if you feel like you need to do something else, that has what to do with you making money, and you get that done, and that's also success. So I don't think, sure, you need education if you want to be under lawyer or accountant or professional way, but some other aspect you don't need education to be successful. So to me, it just falls on both sides, that's all.
Like in today's society, I feel like regardless of the generic perception of what success is, that we're trying to break away from that, because the generic definition of what success is was determined by somebody else. It was based on somebody else's personal success, and then they had put power and money and they made it society's the walk of society's life. I feel like there are different careers out there, and not all of them require education.
I think education is important if you want to be successful in medicine and things like that. If it's not something that needs those specific types of skills like that, you don't need education. To be successful, it also depends on your definition of success. If you want to follow society's norm of you need $10 million, they consider you successful. Cool. If your own success is you're comfortable, you're stable, you're making whatever the standard you set for yourself, that's success. So to me, education isn't necessary. No. Should you maybe have a little bit of it in the specific field you're doing? Yes.
To me personally, I think you don't really like education because, like I said earlier, it depends on your career path and it depends on what you're trying to pursue in the future. So, not really.
To me, I feel like education kind of prepares you for success in a way. Not in the sense that it gives you like all your life lessons, but in the sense that it kind of like gives you what to expect in the form of like, let's say, stress and socializing with people that you don't like, I guess. And also like being educated, as I've said, opens like multiple doors for you, regardless of like what occupation you're in. Because even if you are saying you are a basketball player and you tell someone that you have a business degree, they're going to be like, wow, like that's amazing, like how did you achieve that? I know, like people are going to respect you because in today's world, information is highly valued. And education is all about receiving information, processing it, and using it in your field of work. And like that's the only reason why I feel education is important. I don't think everyone has to go to higher education, but I feel like you just have to try it at least, because it might not be fit for you, but it will definitely teach you something. It will teach you how to like you basically learn how to discipline yourself in that environment, and that's very important when you go out into the world. I'm not saying you can't learn that through experience, but like education is there to give you all these things without you having to go through a lot of fucked up shit, and that's just why I feel like education is important.
You just know, I believe success is knowing who you are, knowing what God gave you, knowing if you're good at like, you know what, I'm not gonna follow society's rules, and I'm just gonna go out in the world and, you know, live life as a freelancer. You know, one day you wake up in Vegas, the next day you know you in Monaco. That if that's your dream or that's what you view as success, you know what I mean. Like I would not advise for you to go to school, because I like to believe there's not a lot of course you could take there. There's not a lot of course you could take in school that will give you that kind of lifestyle. So if you know who you are, you know what God gave you. You know what I mean. Like you, low key to me, that like, you know, a stepping stone to you finding happiness and being successful. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, so in my own perspective, right, like with the kind of success, right, that is set by society, the kind of standard of success in which, like, we all know, like, that is set by society, I would like to feel that education is very paramount in today's world. As much as, no matter what you're doing, even if you're like in business, even if you're playing sports, even if you're an artist, you're a musician, like, you will need some form of education one day to help you do something in today's world. Because I always fall back to that main point of like why I say education is important in today's world is because of like how money moves. If we're going to follow society's standard of what's it called, success, not your personal standard of success, like society's standard of personal success, I feel like, yeah, with the way money moves around today, with the way things at work and law restrictions, like no man is an island, you can't know everything. Yes, you can make it, you can make your money, what's it called, without having to go to school. But to really manage your money and to like understand how the system works and even know how the government are even trying to take more money from you, I feel like you will need to hire people that have already studied this thing, and like some of this stuff you can't read them by just reading, you can't learn them by reading books. You have to actually go through this course and like go through this stuff to know what you're doing. So yeah, personal success does education really matter? Like your own personal success? No, it doesn't. But with society's with society's like view of success, I won't say it's needed, but it's very paramount in today's world.
What Leah just said is bullshit. But in defining success is in all about you need to be like financially okay. I don't think that's true at all. What success is set a goal, accomplish it, be happy with it. That's success. You don't have to be the richest man alive to be successful, and you don't have to be the richest man alive to be happy. Success just comes along with happiness. As long as you find something you want to do, you get it done, and you're happy with it, that's success. Point blank period.
Today, right, it just almost felt like as if everyone was just going off the point that like, oh, personal success is basically the only type of success that is alive in this world. But I just gotta tell you that like, no man, like society still has its own rules. Society has its own set of like what they call success. That's why we have all this list of most successful person of this year. We have most, like all that stuff. If society didn't have its own rules of success, I don't think we would have lists like that and all that stuff. Because how can we measure it? If not by requirements that are already set. There's no way we can measure that. So everyone is just basically trying to argue with me based on personal success, and like you're trying, like that is it's two different things where you can't argue them, like they're different, right? So that's just my own like perspective, man. In the end, I still feel like in today's world, the kind of success I'm talking about, like success, like the one that you're going to enter Forbes list and all that kind of stuff, like really big money type success, bro. You definitely need. There's no successful person by society's standard today that doesn't use education to his advantage to help with his success, man, or with his money. Like it doesn't get you there, but I feel like it's very paramount in like helping you stay there and stay successful.